let's be back with our literature class. Once again I welcome you. So today we will be doing the chapter The Owl by Edward Thomas, which is in page 28 in your book Impressions. So before proceeding the chapter let us know about the poet Edward Thomas. So what? Basically he is known as Philip Edward Thomas, who was born in 3rd March in 1878 and he died in 9th of April 1917. He was a British poet, an essayist and a novelist. So he is also considered as a war poet. Although few of his poems deals directly with his war experiences, and his career in poetry only came after he had already been a successful writer and literary critic. Okay, he enlisted the British Army to fight in the First World War, and he also killed in action during the Battle of Arras in 1917, soon after he arrived in France. So this is a bit knowledge about the poet Edward Thomas. Now let us proceed towards the poem The Owl. So downhill I came, hungry and yet not starved, cold yet had heat within me, that was proof against the north wind, tired yet so that rest had seemed the sweetest thing under a roof. Okay. So this is the first stanza. The poet is beginning with describing his own actions and when he was traveling downhill. So he was also traveling as well. He this is a part of his experience that he is sharing here in this poem. So which is meaning that there is a lot of effort being taken place when you climb up. That means you have already climbed up, right? And now you are proceeding towards the down. So that means the effort is being shown. Okay. Now what happened when he came below the hill? So he was very much hungry. Okay, but he was not starving. The condition was like that. Okay, and he was very much tired and he was trembling by dint of cold, because that was north. Because for that he was also feeling very cold. Okay, and then he was warm enough inside to protect him against the chilling north wind. Yeah, he is feeling hungry but he was not starving, as well as he was feeling cold but his body is warm. Why the body is warm? Because he is still alive. Okay, so that is the reason. Against the north wind, yet tired yet so that rest had seemed the sweetest thing under the roof. So what is the concern? That means he was really weary, he was really tired and he was badly in need of what? Rest. Okay. Now in such hard times, nothing other than rest I think would be the sweetest thing for him, right? He will not feel hungry, though when he will get a bed to sleep, I think all the hungerness or what tiresome he is, he will be little bit of energized. So that was the condition of the poet when he was in the north. When he already climbed hill, he was tired, and when he came back, he was he had already given up. Okay. Now the next paragraph. Then at the inn I had food, fire and rest, knowing how hungry, cold and tired was I. All of the right was quite barred out except an owl's cry, a most melancholy cry. Okay. So what happened in the second stanza? Now the poet is making, he has already made it to an inn. So what is inn basically? Inn is a protecting kind of shelter where you get quite comfortable life, okay, for certain moments. So what happened? He is getting immediate comfort there. Okay. Now he got food to satisfy his hunger there. He got fireplace to warm himself, keep himself warm where he was badly in need of, right? So then what these were able to get the things that he was lacking. What he was lacking in the first stanza was fulfilled in the second stanza. Okay. Now there is an interesting contrast being made inside the inn. Okay. Comfort that you find inside the inn, shelter. For example, in a house, what we find everything. right? The house has roofs, you will feel whether the weather is very bad enough outside, it controls everything, sun, rain, everything, right? So the comfort inside the inn, and basically what we see outside, this is contrasted here, okay. So outside it was very cold, inside it was warm, okay, and only so the walls of the inn, they were all barred out. So what is meaning here, barred out? Quite barred means everything was closed, compact, okay. Nothing, not even nothing would penetrate inside, not even the wind or the rain or any coldness. That's why the thing was very warm, right? So what happened? All the night was quite barred out except an owl's cry, a most melancholy cry. Now only thing that would penetrate inside was the cry of an owl. Why I considered it a cry? Because that was not a kind of a very melodious tone. It was all showing, it was not like a merry note, okay. It was a melancholy and a most melancholy cry. Melancholy means loneliness, right? So that means that cry of the owl was considered to be a melancholic one, sad one, okay. So that had only entered the inn where that poet was resting, okay. Now next paragraph. Shaken out long and clear upon the hill, no merry note nor cause of merriment, but one telling me plain what I escaped and others could not, that night was in I went. Yeah, this is very, this paragraph is very touchy, because your poet is thinking of, he just have a plate full of food, now he is about to satisfy his hunger, right, and he got warmth which he was longing for, right, as well as he was longing for the rest also that he was badly in need of, right. So he got everything, but suddenly when he hears the sound of that owl, no, crying, what happened? He starts to feel, he is starting to feel sad, because all these, that plaintive cry of the owl is reminding him of all the suffering that he had undergone, okay, when he was on the hills. He remembered how he was he was in such a condition where he was starving for food, he was starving for everything, okay, and and how it brought him back to life and brought him back to the world, and that was the bitterest reminder, okay. He was quite fortunate, and he believes that he was fortunate to escape the suffering, okay, on the hill, however. But there are certain people, there are other soldiers, there are other poor people who are still surviving with that kind of life. They don't get in, they don't get comfort very soon, right? They still suffer. For example, we are, best example is at present the situation we see, right? We are getting shelter, we are under protected, but we see some people, they are still starving to have proper shelter, have proper food, have proper clothes to wear. So that is still out, because they are outside, they are not in a comfort zone. No, so that things are reminding the poet, as a poet has already gone through this, so that brings him back, and when he is getting all those comfort also, he is not able to enjoy that, okay. So now the poor were still included, who were exposed to these to these problems, yet the problems had not been solved, okay. And this is revealing the poet's he has a conscience for humanity, okay, and he really feels sorry for those who could not escape through that miserable condition, okay. This is what happens is in the extract in the paragraph 3rd. Now next, and salted was my food and my repose, salted and sobered too by the bird's voice, speaking for all who lay under the stars, soldiers and poor, unable to rejoice, okay. So then what? Overwhelmed by all those penetrating thoughts, now the poet is finding the food and those rest less pleasing. He started to feel that he couldn't enjoy that surrounding. He was not in a comfort zone, but he was not able to enjoy that, okay. Now what happened is, what is coming in him is, he got a very tasty food, but that food now started to feel like salty, okay. like salted my food and my repose, salted and sobered. Why? You know, because the tears were rolling in his food and that was making him that was making the food salty. Okay. So what happens suddenly, he is losing his interest in relaxation. He is desperate, he is not feeling, he is sleeping but he is unable to sleep. He is feeling a very desperate kind of, frustrated kind of feeling. Now why? Because the bird's voice turned the whole atmosphere bitter and that made him sad. The cry of the owl, the sound of the owl was such in pain, no? So that the poet Edward was not able to enjoy his comfort at all. Okay, and his heart was went out to all the soldiers and the poor people who are deprived of their basic needs also, understood, and are unable to rejoice, because there are some people who cannot even fulfill their limited needs. Still we see. So what happened? This bird's cry speaks for all those who lay under the stars and are unable to rejoice. Under the stars means all the people, we human beings. Okay, we are all under the stars, no? So is thinking of all the people who are not able to have this much of food, what I am getting extra now. They are sleeping, sleeping here and there, they have no, all that mercy, no, that condition of this people. Now on the other hand, a bird's cry, usually we see, a bird's cry is a symbol of beauty and life, yes or no? Chirping of birds usually brings lot of happiness, it brings lot of mesmerized sound. But here no matter, it is this poet also is trying to say that no matter how many people have died in the war, the owl have always cried out, and it signals the comfort that life will go on and the world will never end, yes or no? Those there are suffering, but here the cry of the owl, the people are suffering. Do you think everything is paused? No, life still goes on. So the one who suffers has to suffer, that's in his fate, and the one who is getting comfort, he enjoys that. That's how life it is, right? So nothing stops. That means life never stops. Time never stops for anyone. It's like that. It keeps on going. It keeps on flowing. Understood? It's how we deal with that situation. So no matter how bleak things may seem, but time never stops, as well as situation also, it depends upon your fate, the way you live your life. Okay, so this is about the poem. I said he is an anti-war poet. So that's why he, at the end also we see, he talks about though the war brings lot of destruction, havoc, and some losing as well as some victory to the other side, no, but there usually it's said that if one wins, the other has to lose. It's like that. Similarly, life is also the same. If somebody is happy, we see somebody is sad also, right? So it's not that you always feel sad or you are always happy. We have to face both the phases of life. This is how life goes. I said it never stops for anyone. You are sad, so your the thing will not stop for you. You have to carry on. So you have to move on actually. Okay. So this is giving us a great lesson indeed, because sometimes we feel sad and people usually do all sort of things which are not to be done. So, for example, suicide and all, they stop living. So that's wrong. Understood? So if the person dies, does the world stop? It doesn't even care. The person is gone. Maybe the person would fight for the thing that he was lacking, or that the thing that made him sad. So life is like a fight. We have to win. We have to overcome. This is only how we can live our life to prosperity, towards prosperity. Okay. So this is about the owl. I hope the poem is quite clear to you. Now if you have any doubts, do ask me, and for your question answers, will be uploaded very soon. Okay children, thank you so much.